I'm Midshipman Incha, and what is IMO? Shipping is the most efficient and cost-effective means of transporting goods globally. More than 80% globally trade depends upon international shipping transport. For effective operation of international trade, United Nations appointed a specialized agency called IMO, International Marine Organization. IMO is responsible for safety and security of shipping and preventing the marine and atmospheric pollution caused by ships. IMO provided regulation including ship design, construction, equipment, and disposal to ensure the safety, security, pollution control, and efficient usage of energy. 174 member states are currently associated with IMO. Regulation and discussed and passed on the basis of voting by the member states. So far, more than 50 convention and protocol are regulated, 174 members and 50 convention protocols.
Do you like drinking paint? Well, did you know that the International Convention on the Control of Harmful Anti-Fouling Systems on Ships is basically a rule that says, no, you can't use nasty chemicals in ship paints that fight off sea gunk. Plus, it's established to prevent the potential future use of other harmful substances in anti-fouling systems. But then you're probably thinking, Lloyd, what the heck are anti-fouling systems? You see, the bottom part of the ship gets a fancy paint job called anti-fouling paint. It stops sea critters like algae and mollusks from latching onto a ship. Why is this important, you might ask? Well, other than these creatures not paying us money for the trip, they also contribute to the overall weight of the ship. And you know what that means? The heavier you are, the slower you are. And the slower you are, the more fuel you consume. And given the high prices of fuel these days, everyone would be willing to do anything to save even a single cent from fuel. Oh, and also because these creatures damage the ship's bottom, so there's also that, I guess. Moving on, back in the day, sailors used lime and arsenic on their ships until the chemical industry came up with metallic compound anti-fouling paints. But turns out, these compounds slowly leach onto the sea water, killing barnacles and other marine life that have attached to the ship. But studies have shown that these compounds persist in the water, killing sea life, harming the environment, and possibly be served on your plate. Definitely not eating that. Luckily, under the terms of the AFS Convention, parties of the convention are required to prohibit and or restrict the use of harmful anti-fouling systems on ships, so we will not have to worry about that. Annex 1 states that all ships shall not apply or reapply organotians compounds which act as biocides in anti-fouling systems. This applies to all ships, including fixed and floating platforms, floating storage units, and floating production storage and offtake units. In 2021, the EMPC adopted some changes. They slapped controls on the biocide sibutramine. Here's the ship's memo. No applying or reapplying anti-fouling systems with sibutramine from 2023 onwards. And if your ship's got a coating with this stuff, it's gonna have the next anti-fouling system renewal after January 1, 2023, or within 60 months after the last sibutramine application. Finally, the convention is bringing the experts with the technical group to review the proposals on other anti-fouling substances. Check out Article 6 for the full scope on how they're evaluating the seafaring coatings.
Good day everyone, I'm Midshipwoman Gulfan from MTNP 11A4. So today, I'm going to discuss about SOLAS, the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea. So, what is SOLAS? The SOLAS Convention, adopted in 1914, is a crucial international treaty aimed in enhancing the safety of merchant ships. It has undergone several amendments since its inception, including the 1974 version, which introduced the taxi acceptance procedure. The convention, a collaborative effort among member states, aims to ensure seafarer well-being, ship protection, and maritime incident prevention. The convention relevance and effectiveness have been ensured through numerous changes and amendments. So that's all about SOLAS. Again, I'm Midshipwoman Gulfan. Thank you for listening.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening guys. I am Imo Conventions and I am here to present you what is SAR Convention. What is SAR Convention nga ba? The SAR Convention is International Convention in Maritime Search and Rescue in 1979. The SAR Convention was adopted at a conference in Hamburg, Germany on April 27, 1979. But the SAR Convention was entered into force on June 22, 1985. What is SAR Convention aimed to develop in maritime industry? The SAR Convention was aimed to develop the International Search and Rescue Plan in maritime field. The SAR Convention are contained in annexes. There are 5 chapters divided into that annexes. Chapter 1, the terms and definition. Chapter 2, coordination and organization. This chapter defines government obligations. Chapter 3, cooperation between states. In this chapter, parties are required to coordinate search and rescue groups and if necessary. Chapter 4, operating procedure. In this chapter, you have to update information on search and rescue facilities and communications in the area. Chapter 5, ship reporting systems. In this chapter, recommendations for creating ship reporting system are included. And these are the 5 chapters in the annexes. And that's it guys. I hope you learned something from me. Bye.
Hello, the Maritime Labor Convention, MLC, is an international labor standard for the maritime industry, established by the International Labor Organization, ILO. It sets out the rights and working conditions for seafarer, covering areas such as employment, contracts, working hours, accommodation, and health and safety. The MLC aims to ensure fair and decent working conditions for seafarers worldwide. The Maritime Labor Convention, MLC, is number 186, established in 2006 as the 4th pillar of international maritime law and embodies all up-to-date standards for existing international maritime labor conventions and recommendations, as well as the fundamental principles to be found in other international labor conventions. The other pillars are the SOLAS, CW, and MARPOL. The treaties applies to all ships entering the harbors of parties to the treaty port states, as well as to all ships flying the flag of states party. Flag states as of 2021 over 91%.
Good day everyone, I am Imo Conventions and I will be sharing a brief content about the Convention on the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea. Okay, let's have some trivia. Did you know that 1972 Convention was designed to update and replace the collision regulations of 1960, which were adopted at the same time as the 1960 SOLAS Convention? Did you know that? Because I don't. Okay, going back to our topic, the call regs include 41 rules divided into 6 sections, which are Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, Part E, and Part F. There are also 4 annexes included. Let's go to Part A, which is the general. The general rules establish the fundamental principles and guidelines for safe navigation to be followed by all vessels at sea. Part B, steering and sailing. The specific rules apply to vessels navigating in any condition of visibility and outline the actions and responsibilities of vessels when encountering one another at sea. Part C, lights and shapes. The rules apply to vessels navigating in or near areas of high traffic, detailing additional measures and precautions to enhance safety in these congested maritime zones. Part D, sound and light signals. The rules contain the signaling and light requirements for vessels engaged in towing and pushing operations. Part E, This rule states that vessel navigating in or near area of restricted visibility must proceed at safe speed. Part F, which is the last section, verification of compliance with the provisions of the Convention. This pertains to vessels proceeding along the course of a narrow channel, addresses vessels navigating in or near traffic separation schemes, and outlines the rules for vessels navigating in area or restricted visibility. Okay, let's go to annexes that are included. Annex 1, Positioning and Technical Details of Lights and Shapes. Annex 2, Additional Signals for Fishing Vessels Fishing in Close Proximity. Annex 3, Technical Details of Sound Signals Appliances. And Annex 4, Distress Signals, which lists signals indicating distress and need of assistance. Okay, but what is the purpose of call regs? They are traffic laws on the water or on the sea, and a boat or a ship or a vessel must always be navigated on the starboard side or on the right side of the river or of the sea or channel. And also, this convention is also one of the most important IMO convention in the maritime industry. Thank you.
And my topic is the International Convention on Load Lines. The International Convention on Load Lines, often referred to as Load Line Convention, is an international maritime treaty adopted by International Maritime Organization (IMO). Its primary purpose is to establish uniform regulations regarding the assignment of freeboard, which is the distance between the waterline and the deck of the ship. The convention sets standard for displacement of load lines on a ship's hull, indicating the maximum draft to which a ship can be loaded in various conditions. These load lines help ensure the safety and stability of vessels by preventing overloading, especially in different environmental conditions. Key points of the convention includes: number 1, safety and stability. The Load Line Convention aims to enhance the safety and stability of ships by preventing them from being overloaded, which could lead to hazardous conditions, especially in adverse weather. Number 2, uniformity. It promotes international uniform in the application of load lines, making it easier for ships to operate in various ports in regions without facing conflict regulations. Number 3, marketing and certification. Ships subject to convention must have load lines marked on their hull to indicate the permission limits of loading. Additionally, they receive a load line certificate attesting that vessel complies with the convention standards. Number 4, amendments. The convention has undergone several amendments to adapt to evolving maritime technologies and safety requirements.
My topic is Convention for the Safety Containers. The Convention of the Safety Containers likely refers to the International Convention of the Safety Containers. This is convention established regulation and standard for the design of construction, testing, and approval of the containers used from the transporting goods, and the primary goal in the secure the safety of the containers during various modes in transport, including the ship, trains, and truck. The International Convention from the Safety Containers, the CIS, set out the regulation on the standard of the design of construction, testing, and approval of the containers to ensure train safety during transport. The containers meeting CIS standard typically display evaluate the safety approval plate, including compliance with the conversions requirements in the conversion place, actual role in ensuring the secure of transportation. A good actor differently means in a transport such as ship, trains, and trucks. Thank you.
International Convention on Tonnage Measurement of Ships. This convention was adopted by IMO in 1969. It is the first large attempt to introduce a universal tonnage measurement system. Previously, various systems were used to calculate the tonnage of merchant ships. This convention provides for gross and net tonnages, both of which are calculated independently. The rules apply to all ships built on or after 18 July 1982, the date of entry into force, while ships built before that date were allowed to retain their existing tonnage for 12 years after entry into force, or until 18 July 1994.